Well, hello, I'm Scott Stevens, Goldsboro City Manager, here for our July monthly update. It happens to be a really nice morning in July, so we're outside, and some days that's not quite as good in July, but this month it's pretty nice. So just want to encourage all of the community members to think about community appearance, whether it's at your home, at your business, any place that you can influence making it better. Cutting the grass, trimming the bushes, picking up trash. We all need to do our part, and if the city can help with anything, don't hesitate to give us a call. We have staff working every day to pick up trash, to mow grass, to make the community look better. And it really is a great community, but those small touches and finishing things can make a real difference. And litter continues to be a problem in our community. We all have to do better to educate our friends and family and loved ones and do our part in cleaning up. But certainly where you need the city's help, don't hesitate to reach out to us as well. I want to mention a few staffing changes, at least from where those that report to me. We did hire a new fire chief. Chief Joe Dixon was sworn in July 2nd. We had a great ceremony for him. A lot of folks from Maryland came down to make sure Chief Dixon was really moving somewhere. And again, I think very supportive and very complimentary of his work in Maryland. We are excited to have him here as part of the community and help him settling in. And certainly if you have a chance to run into Chief Dixon, welcome him. Get to know him. Really a great somebody and something well-versed in the fire service. So I look forward to working closely with him. We also had a new public information officer position authorized in December. I've worked through the process, and LaToya Henry started with us July 9th. So she's been here just a few days at this time and really jumping back into the community. She's from this area. That's something I discovered during the interview process. Has a background working with utilities with Norfolk. And then working in the city manager's office in Durham. So she's got a good experience in the public sector, and I look forward to working closer with her and getting our messaging out maybe in some different formats, but improving what we're sending to you so you know what's going on in the community as we go forward in time. Still working on replacing our planning director. Jimmy Rowe retired last fall. I feel very comfortable with our interim director and Jennifer Collins, but I am working through that process. That's my next one in terms of working through positions to get hired. And then Kay Scott, our finance director, announced that she is retiring after 38 years of service with the city in December. So I've got a few months to begin working on that, but I do want to wish Kay, want to congratulate her, thank her for her service, and we'll have an opportunity to recognize her more as the year goes on. But at least staffing changes at the leadership level within the city. Hurricane season, we talk about that. It runs from June to November. So just want to mention to all of you, we are all expected to be able to take care of ourselves and our family for a period of 3 days. That means food, water, medicines, radio, TVs, ability to communicate, those kinds of things. Just be thinking about what that needs. We do put information out on our website. There is information out on FEMA's website. There's information on the State Emergency Management website about what list you ought to have. If you have questions on that or need assistance with what you ought to have in place, don't hesitate to give us a call. Again, the manager's office, 919-580-4330, 919-580-4330, and we can get you the detailed listing of information or supplies that you should have available for your family and what having 3 days of food, water, etc. really means. But it's important to be prepared. There's nothing imminent today. It really doesn't heat up here normally for us until the August-September time frame, but you do need to be thinking about that and to be prepared. The mayor, Councilman Ham, Councilman Broadway, and I attended an Association of Defense Community Conference in Washington, D.C. A few weeks ago. Had a lot of interaction with military personnel, had a meeting with Assistant Secretary of the Air Force in talking about our installation and what we can do to better support Seymour Johnson in its presence here. We also had the opportunity to meet with Senator Tillis and then Senator Burr's staff, along with Representative Rouser, and just discuss community issues related to the base, and making sure that we're looking long-term at what we as a community can do to support the mission here at Seymour Johnson Air Force Base, so that we ensure that the Air Force sees this as a vital part of the national defense strategy and keeping that component here. And so again, very good conversations. I do appreciate the mayor and council members' time in making that trip. A lot of walking around, a lot of sitting in meetings, but I think it is well worth our time and effort in doing that. We've talked about our former W.A. Foster project a number of times. We are completing the renovations. That really is complete as of now. Our contractor has moved out. It looks really nice on the inside. The city staff have worked on the outside and cleaned it up from trees to fencing to bushes, and I think all of those things, if you haven't ridden by there in a while, I would encourage you to do so. We're looking for the name. What do we call it? Rather than the former W.A. Foster Center, talking with the mayor and council at their last meeting, they asked for us to prepare a community survey, so we're working on that. We will get that out to at least those within a 1-mile radius of the center, as directed by council, but any community member that has an opinion on what we should name the center would certainly be encouraged to submit names, or maybe we will give you choices. We're going back to council just to confirm what they would like for us to share with you and ask of you, but we are working on what that name should be going forward. As well as we're looking for tenants. Again, if you have an interest in being in the facility, please call my office, 919-580-4330, and tell us in terms of nonprofit what you would do in the facility and why you ought to be there. We are working through who do we allow into the building and what will be used, with the hope that the nonprofits can pay some to support the operational costs of the building, but more importantly to provide services to the community, and in particular the youth of our community. So if you're in an area that does that, I think the W.A. Foster Center, the former W.A. Foster Center, might be a facility for you. It's not meant to be a gymnasium or a rec center. It's meant to be a community center where you're able to learn and work through issues that help us through day-to-day living. So more to come on that. Steve Ashford's Boxing is one entity that has been in our Herman Park Center. He is moving over to the former W.A. Foster Center, and so more to come on that. But again, we look forward to your input and talking with you on possibilities of who may be in the center, and also the future naming of the center itself. Cemetery expansions. We've talked with the mayor and council a number of times about expanding Willowdale and expanding Elmwood cemeteries. We are basically sold out in terms of cemetery plots in both cemeteries. We do have land available at both locations, and we have a master plan of Willowdale. We really don't have a master plan of Elmwood, so the council has directed us to complete a master plan there, and so we'll be working through that process over the coming months with the idea that we would sell lots going forward in time if the council so desires. And I will tell you, from the manager's standpoint, selling the lots, developing the cemetery, selling the lots is profitable for the city. We recover our investment on selling the lots. Long term is where cities and other operators of cemeteries struggle a little bit. Cutting the grass forever or maintaining those sites forever is a losing proposition from a financial standpoint. So again, it's one of those things, short term, meaning the next 5 to 10 to 20 years, developing the cemeteries makes great financial sense. Long term, meaning 20, 30, 40 years, maybe not so much. So that's the discussion going on with City Council at this time. And certainly if you have an opinion, don't hesitate to reach out to us or your elected officials to share where you'd like them to go with that cemetery expansion ideas at both Willowdale and Elmwood. Voters did approve street bonds in November 2016. We sold some of those bond funds last summer and resurfaced a number of streets throughout the community. We are getting ready to sell the balance of the $7 million street bonds, or $4.5 million worth, this summer. Again, for street resurfacing that we'll have awarded later this year, and so you'll see that work in the fall. Part of that is bond rating calls, meaning we talked to Standard & Poor's and Moody's to get our bond rating and established for the bond sale. Having a better rating means we have lower interest rates, and we went into the bond rating calls with good information, working with our consultant, working with our finance director and department. We did receive notice from S&P yesterday that our bond rating has been upgraded, which is great news for the city. We're going from a AAA minus to a AAA. We would have been very pleased to have stayed at a AAA minus. We're extremely excited to be going to a AAA rating. Again, that does mean better interest rates. We've not heard from Moody's. Again, we certainly anticipate holding our Moody's rating. It would be fantastic if it improves as well, and we'll share that with you as we go forward. But I do want to say congratulations to all involved, from the mayor and council to the staff to our finance director, who make it possible for that rating to increase, because it does take good, sound financial management in order for your rating to be strong, which it has been, and then to increase that rating speaks even better to Goldsboro, how it's been run these last few years. So congratulations to those involved. Another ongoing project that, if it hasn't gotten to you, it will, is our water meter change out. We are going to an AMI metering system, meaning a meter system that keeps the data and shares that data almost instantaneously with the city in terms of water usage at any particular location. We have changed out all our business water meters. We are changing out our residential water meters. So again, if we haven't gotten to your house, we're coming. Hopefully you won't even know we've been there. The meter change out process is about a 5 or 10 minute process per resident. contractor is moving and doing 300 or 400 of those per week. And again, we have always billed you on cubic foot, and that is 750 gallons, but it's been a strange, we build you on units, and that sometimes has created confusion in our billing system in trying to talk with customers. We are converting to gallons, so your billing should make more sense as you read gallons of water that you've used and gallons of sewer that you're being billed for versus cubic foot. So if you have questions on that, again, don't hesitate to call. We will work through the issues with you and help you understand the new billing system. Rates are the same, so your water bill should not change in terms of cost, but your units that you're being billed on will be different. So more to come as we go forward. Recycling changes, we had a discussion about recycling. Some of you had received notices from us. We're working to revamp those notices and make them a little more customer friendly, a little more understandable. But the real issue is we collect recycling and carry it to a center that sorts it. Those sorting centers, now that the recycling demands have changed worldwide, what used to make money in terms of particularly glass no longer is marketable from the recyclables when it's commingled. So the recycling center that we carry our recyclable materials to no longer will accept glass. So we are asking residents not to recycle glass at this time. We're getting flyers out. We've got a newsletter that's coming to you in your utility bill that will sort of describe what's allowable and not, and sort of the reason behind it. And then we'll have more information coming to you in August, with the idea that hopefully by September or October that residents have had some time to adjust, and that those that haven't gotten the message will begin putting individual notices on your containers, and hopefully get all of us converted to the current recycling mix today of normal, I say, tin cans, metal, plastic bottles, water bottles, those kinds of things that are very recyclable and still a demand in the market for them, so that we're, again, trying to save you money and still be a good environmental stewards of recycling the proper thing. So if you have questions on recycling and what's out there or what's acceptable, again, don't hesitate to call 919-580-4330, and we'll make sure to get that information to you. Center Street, Cornerstone Commons project, we've talked about a Tiger grant that we received almost 2 years ago now. We have worked through that process. We have a design firm out there, and we are coming to have a public meeting July 30th. I think the location, again, tentatively scheduled for July 30th, and then we'll confirm that as the month goes on. Be held at the City Hall Annex. One meeting will start at 12 o'clock. One meeting will start at 5:30. So 2 separate meetings that day, just trying to give you, the public, an opportunity to come out, see some initial design concepts, give us your feedback on it, so that we can go to a design plan and hopefully be under construction in the next 6 to 9 months with the last 2 blocks of Center Street and then the Cornerstone Commons redesign. And one note on the Freedom Tree, I know we've had a lot of conversation about the tree at Spruce and Center. Our initial recommendation does spare that tree. It's a half roundabout, but we would like the community's comment on that to see if that meets the idea and intent for those here in the community and best serves what all of us really want for our downtown. So July 30th, 12 o'clock is one meeting, 5:30 is a separate meeting, and they'll both be the same meeting, so choose to attend one or the other and give us your input. Our police evidence expansion and our Fire Station 4 construction project, we have taken bids. The bids are somewhat above our estimate in terms of funding and where we had hoped they had been. We are working through the bid process, and we'll have a recommendation to our city council either to reject bids and start over, or to accept the bids based on the cost and just understanding that the construction market is a little elevated now. That's what we continue to hear. So we are working towards our recommendations for city council to hopefully have that under construction this fall as well. And I guess with that, I'll close. It is officially summer. As always, if you aren't outside, if you're not moving around, I would encourage you to do so. Find a good time of day. Early morning, later in the evening, it does cool off. It is very pleasant outside, whether it's in our downtown, whether it's in our parks, whether it's just in your neighborhood. I would encourage you to get outside and get moving. They tell us that is better for all of us to move a little, but I would encourage you to enjoy the outside where you can. A lot of activities in parks and recreation. Continue to look for that for kids, for adults, activities that are going on there, events downtown, the Paramount Theater. Again, there's lots to do in Goldsboro. Sometimes you have to look for that, but if you need to know where to go, give us a call. Again, we're here if needed. Call on us if we can help. Have a safe and great summer. Thanks.